Hey everybody, Dr. Albert Snow here, Holistic Gastroenterologist. I've been healing individuals with inflammatory bowel conditions for 40 years, and I did say heal, and I don't know of any other method. I developed the GI cure, and it works, and it about 98% of the time. Now, who are the ones that don't get healed? The ones who wait too long, or the ones who don't follow my instructions. Anyways, my goal here is to wipe out suffering due to inflammatory bowel conditions on this planet during my lifetime. We can do it because I figured out how to do it. I broke the code, and now technology. Of course, the technology's been here all along, waiting for me. This one is called, my clip today is called, It Doesn't Matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. What do I mean by it doesn't matter? Okay, you heard it like left side colitis. Some of you have been diagnosed with that. Okay, you have proctitis down in the rectum. Okay, you have esophageal reflux, GERD, heartburn, okay, Barrett syndrome. Okay, you have an ulcer in your stomach. Okay, you have ileum issues. Okay, you have diverticulitis. These are all locations. Isn't that what they say? Well, it doesn't matter where the injury is. First of all the tissue, all those places, it's the exact same tissue. It's just a highway that takes some lefts and rights and turns and goes around a rotary and then goes down. Our medical friends get hung up on where something is. See, our GI tract is made out of skin, fat, and muscle. It's a pipe with a layer of mucus on it called mucosal lining. That's true about whether your esophagus or your rectum, anywhere in between. Skin, fat, and muscle with Vaseline on top of it. That's what it is. And you can get a hole or a scratch or a scrape or whatever injury to any location. It could be up on the left, lower on the right. Doesn't matter. And because it's all the same tissue, it requires the same thing. So we've reduced it to heal it. We reduced it down to, okay, everywhere in the GI tract is skin, fat, and muscle with mucosal lining covering it. Okay, there's only a few things that can injure it. Those are antibiotics. Imagine that you have a layer-like Vaseline protecting the stomach wall, and there's only one thing that can destroy that can penetrate that. Mucosal lining, it's just a bunch of Vaseline-like stuff, right? There's only one thing. Antibiotics. So we know that. Okay, that's already been established a zillion times. Now, let's say you have a hole being blown in your stomach wall, your bowel wall, your esophagus, by stomach acids. Well, that could only happen if you've taken the antibiotics and it wiped out some of the mucosal lining. Okay, it's arbitrary. It could happen. Why do most of them happen around the stomach and the colon? Because that's where the antibiotic tablet lands. Okay, intravenously, people try to say, "Oh no, it doesn't go through the GI tract." And BS. It goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. Everywhere where there's blood being pumped gets the dose of the antibiotic. Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't. It does. But my point is, you have a hole blown on the left side, the right side, up or down. It doesn't matter because it's only one cause of it. Okay, we know what that is. And there's only one cure. Okay, we know what that is, the GI cure. Let's give you an example. There's a biological wisdom. If you break the toe in your right foot, the calcium doesn't need to be given a GPS. It doesn't need to know, okay, let's pull over and ask this guy at the gas station where to go. Okay, it knows where to go. It goes on that foot at that toe, not the little toe on the other foot. They're never going to be able to explain that. That must drive them crazy. These medical people must drive them crazy. Now, their drugs can be targeted. That's a different story. But if you have a hole in your esophagus, it's the same hole as you have in your bowel, just a different geographical location, and the symptoms will be different. If you have a hole in your GI tract above the navel, it's going to be mainly pain, sometimes bleeding. If it's down below, it could be bleeding, pain, and usually diarrhea. They're the same hole, same pothole, just a little different. One's higher than the other. It still doesn't matter. because all acid reflux is IBS of the esophagus, and vice versa. So the cure is the same. The cause is the same, the cure is the same, and the location is random. We don't care. When people start telling me their thing, if they say left, right, I just nod my head and go, sure. Okay, we don't need to know that. It doesn't matter, because the nutrition is going to go in your gut, and it's really sacred stuff, and it's going to go out through the bloodstream to everywhere in the body, and it's going to go to those places because they're made out of cells. Let's just say it's your liver, and there's some damage over there. The mucosal lining and such will get set up in the liver. And the liver didn't have to send out an APB, is that what it's called? All points bulletin. It just the body knows what's needed and it sends it there. So when you're taking the nutrition in, it's going to get delivered to where it needs to go. You're going to have things like probiotic and colostrum, and there's something called GI Select, and different supplements that are part of the GI Cure. We don't need to tell them. We don't need to give them a pep talk on the way into our mouth and say, come on guys, the left side, upper right quadrant. No. They just go where they're supposed to go and they do what they're supposed to do. That's all we have to do. I tell people, they say, what else do I need to do? I said, swallow them. Swallow them. Maybe take a little sip of water. I don't know. Just swallow them. Consume them. Everyone's looking for all these complicated instructions because that's what the drugs require to work and minimize side effects. The natural stuff doesn't need that. So the deal is this. Swallow an antibiotic, wipes out some of your mucosal lining on the, upper left side. That's pretty common. Now you have an ulceration being eaten there by the stomach acids. It very well could have been anywhere else in the GI tract. And also within the liver, within the gallbladder, lungs, sinus, bladder, prostate. Just think of each one of those locations, a gland or organ, as a cluster of cells. Picture all those cells as a circle. Picture that circle as your GI tract with the mucosal lining in it, and on top of it, covering and protecting it, and then here comes an antibiotic. Wipes that out. I don't care if it's left, right, upside down. You know what I say to you? What's your symptoms? Oh, I have a thing upside down. Up side, left side. I go, fine. Just tell me what the symptoms are. I need to know how much to administer. Okay, it's magically that there's 5 or 6 supplements. You don't take them all at once. 5 or 6 supplements will fix this problem no matter where it is. Like I said, you don't have to give it a pep talk. You don't have to give it a GPS. It's going to go. So you come to me, go online, and you get the protocol. Doesn't matter if you say to me, hey, listen, it's on the left side. You call me back later and say it's on the right side. Oh, I forgot to tell you on my big toe. Doesn't matter. It'll go where we need it to go. And it doesn't like to be told what to do by trying to change your own plans. I have people, what I'm saying is that I have people who want to get healed so bad, they take additional stuff, and it can get in the way. Safety-wise, you can take anything with anything, but you can be taking supplements that are just distracting the body. So when you work with me, just take what I prescribe. We call it, just do the effing program. That answers most questions. When you say, well, can I have meat? Well, the protocol you're going to be given says you can have meat, but more so it says what you can't have. Someone asked me today for a diet. They said, give me the list of foods I can eat. I said, no, there's so many foods. I said, how about the ones you can't eat? And how about just the categories instead of naming each one? It's not really about food. It's about texture. In terms of the roughness, that's all we care about with food, is don't eat rough stuff. The supplements will take care of the nutrition. So when I say it doesn't matter, it means take the right stuff in your body, utilize them properly, timing-wise. That's what's so special about the GI Cure. It's all-encompassing. It goes wherever it's needed, including the sinus, the lungs, the liver. Yeah, we were we were clearing out liver problems like left and right, and way before it was considered possible. And then they started coming out with some medications that take care of the liver issues pretty well. I don't get that many calls for liver, but let me tell you what happens going with our theme. I get off track here. Without knowing it, you might have a problem developing in the sinuses, in the bladder. Don't know it. But when you take my protocol, it's going to heal what we're there for, the GI issue. But it's going to go through the bloodstream. Just picture this. Everything you swallow goes to all the cells. So if your cells need what my protocol has to offer, you're going to see improvement in that area. I hesitate to say you're going to see your other issues be cured. Oh, it happens. But it always improves things. You're always better off with my protocols. You're better off, we've fixed the initial problem, but you always end up on the plus side with whatever's left over. I tell people, I used to say it in the radio show all the time, well begun is half done. If you use my protocol, it's going to take care of the GI cure issues, that we talk about, that IBS, colitis, Crohn's, bleeding, inflammation, and diarrhea. Well, it's going to go over and do similar things to other body parts quietly, and you won't know, and you'll say, is there any chance that this affected my liver? Is there any chance that, I'm not getting headaches anymore? Could this be related? Yeah, it is. You see, this protocol, the GI cure, we could call it the sinus cure. We could call it the lung cure. We could call it the liver cure. We could call it a lot of things. Because it provides the basic fundamental foundation for everything that needs to be done. Well begun is half done. Think about this. If you take the best vitamins in the world, but you don't have your mucosal lining set up in your gut, you're not going to absorb very many of them. Put the mucosal lining in for purposes of what you need it for, protect the tissue and all that, and you say, oh, thank you, we've just installed an immune system. Okay, we just installed our digestive system, which is like computer software. Thank you. Oh, you mean we did that all blindly without even giving any thought? That's right. We don't have to think about it. You give the body the right stuff, you're going to go and do what it needs to do, where it needs to be done. All this stuff about micromanagement of locations, that's all come from the drug company, drug world. It comes from the pharmaceutical companies have dangerous stuff. So they need to give instructions. The stuff I prescribe, the worst that's going to happen is you're not going to do anything. It happens sometimes. We have to make a change. But no one's ever recorded a problem with my guidance. No. I mean, it goes on year after year, just no problems. It might be a headache here and there. It might be a loose stool when you first start taking something. That's why I jumped into the natural world. I said I could actually have a bad day. I could do a bad job, and no real consequences. Somebody might say, well, I had diarrhea. I say, oh, I'm sorry about that. That's it. So it does not matter, because your body is going to deliver the nutrients where they need to be. Okay? And what I do is I just read the signs. And you tell me yay or nay, your body either aches or it doesn't, and that's how we know. So don't get hung up. If someone tells you it's left side colitis, say, okay, fine, cool. Bring on the GI cure protocol. So that's my clip called It Doesn't Matter. And it matters that you take the good stuff in your body, but it doesn't matter where you don't have to target anything. Okay? Thank you. Bye.